It's that first step on shore which means everything. And then the next thing is the reunion. It's just a simple and a happy scene. It's a scene, in fact, though, that we should remember in the middle of all this happiness, of all these 1,200 or so men have come back, there are 40 who have not come back. And these relatives here today, I'm sure, and we all will be sparing a thought for the people who haven't come back. And a very good morning to you from Southampton. A beautiful day, a day to fit the occasion. You join us at a unique moment, the moment just before the reunions are about to take place. And reunions are what we're all here for today. A lot of people have said, of course, that Southampton is not the loveliest waterfront in the world. Well, today, nobody cares about that one jot. The people on the shore, the people on the ship, simply want to get together. This is the place they want to be, best in the world today. Now, with me to help with the commentary here this morning is someone who's been through this all once before. Captain Sam Salt of HMS Sheffield, the first British warship to be lost in the South Atlantic. Captain, can I ask you, you know how it feels to be on board now, waiting to come off. What is that feeling?
Well, I would think if it was anything like the feelings that I went through, they would be starting now to get very apprehensive. They will have heard that they will have been returning as heroes, albeit reluctant heroes, but that full impact will not be comprehensible to them.
You had no inkling of the way it was going to be when you came home?
No, I thought there would be a couple of reporters at Brize Norton, and then in Ascension, before we left Ascension, when I heard there was going to be a large reception, I considered about 20 or so would be about right, and then when I found near 100 or 100 plus,
yes.
It knocks you back a bit.
Yes. I notice you're not in uniform this morning, Captain.
No, I'm afraid that my uniforms were all lost. I have one very scruffy set of gear which I would hesitate to wear in these sort of conditions.
This is all the part of being sunk at sea.
Yes, it is.
Standing by.
You've got a son on that boat. You've got a son on that. Oh no!
Well, Martin, the reaction here among this vast crowd that have turned out on this very special day to the QE2 coming into Southampton has been marvellous. It's been a carnival, really, until now, because suddenly the QE2 has tied up, the first of the survivors about to disembark, and there's a sense of anticipation, a sense of expectation for those longed-for reunions. I've got three girls with me here who have a brother on the Coventry. First of all, did you see him on the deck as the ship came in?
Yes, I did. He was up there, yes.
Did he see you?
Yes, he was pointing towards, he waved and that, yeah.
How did you feel at that moment?
Oh, overjoyed. I couldn't believe it. I still couldn't believe it was all right till I saw him, but now I've seen him, I know.
How did he look to you?
He looked different. His
Did
hair was
he?
cut and it was just different.
His eye was cut, was it?
Hair?
Uh-huh. And did you think this day would ever come?
No, I've been waiting for it for ages.
Can I ask you, what was it like when you heard that the Coventry had been hit? How did you feel at that moment?
We're all out of our heads, especially our mum.
Well, he's safe and sound and home, and you'll soon see him.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Okay. We saw him up there, but I don't know what it was. Down here now, and we come up. My brother, yes.
Have you seen him?
But we thought we saw him on the bridge, I'm not sure.
A lady here with a brother on the QE2. Did you manage to glimpse him as the ship came in?
I thought I saw a glimpse of him,
How
but
did he
I'm
look?
not sure. Well,
How
he
did he
looked
look?
tanned, but I don't know. It was such a
Now,
fun.
presumably he volunteered
Yes, he
to
did.
go with Cunard on this trip.
Yes.
Did you try to dissuade him
I
at all?
did. I tried very hard, and so did my mother here. She tried. But
What's the waiting been like in the last few weeks?
pretty awful because we haven't had any letters at all.
One
we
letter
got
yesterday.
one
There was,
letter.
of course, a news blackout for a period of time.
Yes.
And then there was all sorts of propaganda from the
Well,
Argentinian junta.
That was it. We didn't know. It was just the most awfully worrying time, but we're so relieved to be down here today to see it all.
You're only a few minutes away from seeing him.
It's a wonderful feeling. I can't wait.
What do you think the first words will be you'll say to him?
Oh, thank God you're safe, I think. That's all we all hope, you know, for all of them anyway. And we're so pleased to be down here today.
What would you say if he wanted to go back to the Falklands?
Well, I couldn't stop him because he was determined to go anyway. He'd had his mind made up. Directly he heard, he said, well, I couldn't not go. And I think that sums up everybody.
Can you
on
sum
board.
up your feelings as you saw the QE2 coming round the headland?
Oh,
It's
well,
bursting.
absolutely. I felt like crying.
Yes, I want to cry, yes. But so relieved.
Have you had any tears? Have there been any
Well,
tears?
yes,
few, yes,
when
when
we
we saw
first
it
came,
coming,
but I'm
we
so
were-
happy now. I've got over that. I just feel so relieved that he's home and safe.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
And now you see a quite extraordinary scene as you rejoin us. The simple reason that all the rules and regulations have been thrown away and they've let through the crowds, they've taken away the barriers very rapidly, and they've said, never mind about all the rules that we laid down yesterday, this is a very special occasion and we're going to let everybody as close as they possibly can be. So you see in front, in the first gangway there, you see some of the QE2 coming off. They, once they're off, will join their relatives rather more quickly than the Ardent personnel. The Ardent personnel, as you probably know, do have to clear customs. I'm told that that is an absolute formality. It needs to be, for the simple reason that most of these people have only got what they stand up in and are not exactly in the business of declaring anything through a red channel. But they do have to do that, and then they will all assemble inside the customs shed at the point. Each ship has its own name in various parts of the building, and then after that they're out into the sunlight and to their relatives, their wives and sweethearts. That is about to happen in about a couple of minutes' time. On board, the only relatives allowed on board actually have been the relatives of the seriously injured people. This was decided that they thought obviously you couldn't let everybody on board, but they were going to make an exception in the case of there's one stretcher case, I'm told, and the rest are wounded. Their families are on board now, and they've gone on with their flowers and their presents and this sort of thing. The reunion for them will take place on board QE2. For the others, it'll be out in the sunlight. And here they come streaming off now, carrying what belongings they have. You can see that they're going as fast as they can. There is no formality here. They're just all gathered together, moving away as the Marine Band plays. I noticed there, Captain Salt, that they're coming off as fast as they can. Very few of them are smiling. They're all looking slightly apprehensive about what lies ahead of them. Would you agree with that?
I'm not the slightest surprised. I imagine they would have been told, as I said earlier, that they were in for a hero's welcome, but it's quite impossible until you actually come upon it to realise what depth of feeling awaits them ashore. What they can actually see ashore in terms of the number of people is really a very small proportion of the depth of feeling displayed throughout the nation. And they fondly will have imagined that they will have got through this red tape, the arrival ceremony quite quickly, and then perhaps get straight home and put their feet up and start relaxing. But little do they know, I'm afraid, what they're in for.
And now we're going over to John Toker, who is with the QE2 crew families.
It's John Marston, one of the permanent crew on board the QE2. John, what kind of a trip have you had?
Good trip.
Were you worried at all about the dangers?
Not really, no. Not at all.
How far did you get into the action at all?
Well, it's about 800 miles or so, that's all. Not very far.
Now, you were all volunteers on the trip. What was the atmosphere like among the crew?
Good. All had a good time. Not much really to do, but just normal time. Really.
And what happens now? Do you have a break or do you go back to work?
Well, we should be having a break, but we don't know what's happening. No one's told us anything at all yet, so just waiting.
Have a good time anyway.
Thank you.
So you have 3 sons in the Royal Navy.
Yeah.
One of them's home today.
Yeah.
One of them's still in the Falklands.
Yeah, on the Fearless. That's David.
Tell me about the one who's home today.
Oh, he was on the Brilliant and he got shot in both legs. And they transferred him to the Canberra and now he's home on here.
And how do you feel that he's here at last?
No.
But obviously still very, very apprehensive about the other one who's still in the Falklands.
Oh, yeah.
Be a very emotional reunion for you.
Marvellous.
Are you very proud of them? Are you pleased they're out there doing their bit?
Very proud of them, yeah. Very proud.
Okay.
And there is that slightly nervous happiness we were talking about, the apprehension that goes with the happiness. Because one of the problems, quite obviously, is that it's fine for this moment, this exciting moment. It's fine while you unwind, but then in a week's time, it begins to sink in what has happened to you. Losing a ship is like losing a relative in any case, and when you get into that kind of feeling, it takes you a very long time to pick up the pieces. And I know, in fact, that you, Captain Salt, are still desperately trying to pick up the pieces, leaving out the fact that you haven't got a uniform.
Returning to your families, dear old England, and then you realise that life doesn't stop for you. In fact, the pace increases. Hundreds of letters to respond to, the great task of winding up, to use the expression, a ship that has just sunk. There is a tremendous amount to do, and you realise there aren't enough hours in the day.
Yes, this it does turn out to be an enormous problem, a problem which you have faced, which now 3 more captains will have to face, and that is, as you call it, there is no other word, the winding up. And here they still stream off the boat, a few happy snaps, a memory of the occasion, and the emotion which is ever present around this customs shed on both sides, the QE2 side, the RN side. The emotion is exactly the same. These people have come home.
Will you go back to the Falklands if you have to?
No. I think everyone will have to. Well, would do if they had to.
What are you going to do now?
Go home and get very, very drunk.
Goes for me too.
And still they come off, It's going to take quite a long time. There were, in fact, 655 members of the QE2 crew, an equivalent number thereabouts of RN personnel. It takes a long time for them to disembark, and there is just a few formalities to be gone through inside that shed, and then they will drift into the sunshine, meet up. It's very difficult, of course, in this kind of crowd, spotting your relatives. So a lot of people have hit on the idea of holding up signs with their son's name on or husband's name. You see that what they're doing now is actually having a look round to see who they can find, to see where their relatives are. You will notice that the great majority of the seamen coming ashore have nothing but a single sports bag. One or two have still got kit bags, but not very many. So they are the people who are going to have to pick up the pieces. And at the moment, none of that needs to be thought of for the simple reason that here is a reunion, and a reunion is everything for the moment. And now back to Chris Peacock.
Welcome home.
Well, thank you.
How does it feel?
Well, fantastic.
Yes?
Yeah.
Who's this with you?
Your fiancée.
Aha. When's the big day?
Well, we've got to work that out yet.
Yes. I'm sure you can hardly believe the stay has happened, can you?
Yeah, we've been looking forward to it.
What
for
was
a
it
while.
like as you came up Southampton water on the QE2 and you saw this incredible welcome waiting for you?
Well, it was immersive. We was running from side to side on the ship, just looking at all the boats, the craft, and everyone.
Which ship were you on?
Coventry.
And how bad was it out there?
Well, I'm not allowed to say. I don't know what I'm allowed to say on that subject, but it was bad. I'm just glad. I feel sorry for the lads still out there.
Do you want to go back to the Falklands again? Will you go back?
If I had to, I would, but I'm not going to volunteer for it.
Can I ask your fiancé, just to put into words, how it is to have your arm around him again after all these months?
It seems like he's never been gone, actually.
Has the waiting been very bad for you?
It has, yes, but it doesn't seem as long now as it did while we were waiting.
What did you do to get over the agony of that waiting?
Well, there wasn't much you could do, we just had to wait, and that's all.
Did you glimpse him up on the deck of the QE2 when she was coming in? Did you see him?
No, I didn't have my glasses on.
A few tears, probably.
Yes, a lot of tears.
Now, there's only one question left to ask. What are you going to do now?
I'll go home and enjoy myself with the family.
Good. Welcome back. Now to John Tokers.
With me now is Jim Kelly and his wife and little baby. They've just been reunited. Jim, how does it feel to be home?
Very glad to be back home. But we've enjoyed taking our part in the Falklands crisis. And I'm glad we got down there, done our job safely and came back safely.
What was it like when you were down there? Were there any problems at all?
No, it was a very smooth operation for us, really, because we had a nice steady speed to go to. We kept that speed, went down, transferred our troops, and headed back.
And how does it feel now you're back with your wife and your baby?
I'm very glad to be back, and it's better for us because we were expecting maybe 2 or 3 months, something along those lines, but now we're back home more than we anticipated, and rather glad to be back.
Lovely. And Mrs. Kelly, what are your plans now?
Well, I think he's got to go back to work, so I shall probably wait somewhere until he's ready to come off, and then we'll go home and have a quiet evening.
Lovely. Have a nice time.
Thank you.
They stream off, and you notice that they're walking over the red carpet. I don't think one of them has noticed it, but it's a nice touch. Somebody had a nice thought there. And they have only one interest, and that is to get their feet on shore. They've been down in the South Atlantic for 2 months. They were away, many of them before that, on cruises in the Mediterranean. Now they're on shore, and in a few moments, all the lads that you see now will be with their wives, sweethearts, mothers, and on plays the Marine Band. Nobody's taking too much notice, but that was also rather a nice touch. And there are the people of Southampton applauding the men as they come ashore.
and son just reunited. What were the first words you said to your son?
Oh, I can't remember.
Totally dazed. What about you?
Well, you know, I was just surprised, you know, when I saw everybody here. You know, I'd heard that there was going to be a lot of people, but you know, I didn't expect anything.
Did you expect your mother would be here?
Well, I'd heard that she'd be here, but...
Could you see him as the QE2 came up Southampton Water? Did you glimpse him?
No.
You're carrying a rose in your hand.
Yes. Well, we were all given one as they came through the barrier.
Now, which ship were you from?
On the Coventry.
On the Coventry?
Yeah.
And what's it been like for you during the last few weeks?
The last few weeks has been marvellous. It was the ones beforehand when we were on the Coventry that things were a little bit dodgy at times, but...
Did you find you were able to recuperate on the trip home on the QE2? She is, after all, really a luxury passenger liner, isn't she?
She is, yeah. I managed to survive just about, I think.
What do you mean by that?
So it made it 2 to a cabin instead of 50.
Was there a good atmosphere on board?
Marvellous, absolutely marvellous. Nothing like it in my life.
Will you go back to the Falklands?
Well, if the chance arises, I'll wait until I'm asked. But I'm not going to say...
I'm sure your mother would echo that sentiment.
I would, yeah. I've got another one on standby already there. Yeah.
It must have been just as bad for you, actually, waiting for news.
It was dreadful, yes, really
What was
terrible.
the worst period?
Afternoon on the 26th, when we actually heard it was the Coventry that had gone down. Up until midnight, until we knew that he was on the survivors list.
Good. Well, survived he has, and glad to be home. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.
And still they come in all assorted guises, the only clothes that they had. They've got them on. It doesn't really matter how you're dressed when you come back from this sort of thing. It's that first step on shore which means everything. And then the next thing is the reunion. It's just a simple and a happy scene. It's a scene, in fact, though, that we should remember in the middle of all this happiness, of all these 1,200 or so men have come back, there are 40 who have not come back. And these relatives here today, I'm sure, and we all will be sparing a thought for the people who haven't come back.
One family reunited, 2 daughters. Now tell me, what's it like to have your daddy home? Yes, and you? Yes. Lovely. How does it feel to be back with them all again?
Marvellous.
Could you see them actually on the quayside when you came in?
I looked, but I couldn't. I think it was a waste of time, actually.
Did you expect they'd be here?
Yeah, I knew before.
What was it like as the QE2 came up Southampton Water? What was going through your mind?
Well, I was just amazed by all the reception that we had here. It was fantastic. Lovely homecoming.
Can you remember the first words you said to him?
Hello, Dave, we're here.
Did you ever dare to dream this day would come?
It was a terrible ordeal to go through, and I wouldn't like to go through it again. I'm just glad he was one of the survivors, that's all. I wouldn't go through it again for anything.
The waiting's probably been as bad for you in some ways as what your husband's gone through.
We didn't know for hours and hours that he was alive. You know, it was just a case of sitting there and waiting. And we waited 7.5 hours before we knew that he was alive. We just knew that the ship had been sunk. And
did you always have hope?
no, towards the end I gave up. And then the phone rang and they said, you know, he's a survivor. His father came rushing down from Sherborne and said, you know, he's a survivor, you know. He said, that's it. He said, they picked him up. It was fantastic after that.
Can you tell us anything about the sinking of your ship? Which ship was it?
HMS Ardent.
Where were you when she was hit?
I was towards the aft of the ship in one of the damage control bases.
And were you able to get off all right?
Yeah, there wasn't too much difficulty in getting off once they gave the order to...
Was there much fire?
I didn't actually see any fires, but the reports afterwards suggested there were quite a bit of fire there.
Can you remember, it's very difficult, I'm sure, to put into words, what was going through your mind during those minutes?
I think it was blank. There wasn't much going through my mind at all, actually. You know, just... I don't know, it's hard to explain.
And what are you going to do now?
Have a good leave.
My daughter's gone off.
Thank you very much. Have a good leave.
My daughter's gone away.
These two kissing. Right. Can we just... Hello. Just are you fiancé, Marion? When are you getting married?
I don't know. I'm not sure, we've only just got engaged.
What's it like to have him back?
Wonderful. I'm really happy.
Well, it's unbelievable.
Did you expect a welcome like this?
No. Not no, really. I'm just glad to be back. That's
When you go back to the Falklands?
If they send me, I'll have to, won't I? I hope not.
No, it's fiancé. Fiancé?
Yeah.
Sorry. Which ship are you from?
Ardent.
This is your fiancé who's come to meet you?
Yeah.
How do you feel to have him home?
Absolutely thrilled. It's fantastic. That's all I can say, just fantastic.
What were you feeling as the QE2 came up Southampton water?
I felt a bit sick, actually. But just fantastic, just really exciting, just lovely to have him home.
Can you remember what you said to him when you saw him?
Gasp. Gasp. I think that's about it, you know. I mean, you can't put it into words, really, can you? You know, it's just suddenly you see her, and she means everything, you know.
What was the morale like on the QE2 as you were coming home?
Everybody was doing a lot of walking around and not really knowing what was going on, you know. So we just wanted to get home, you know. And what a fantastic reception.
Was it a fairly subdued atmosphere on the ship?
It's just little things, little words or a song, something like that, you know, could bring it all flooding back, you know, like opening the wound again, I suppose. It's, I wouldn't wish it on anybody, you know. Okay, thank you.
One is, yes, one is.
Can someone hold this on now?
Okay.
So the QE2 is home, safe and sound in her home port of Southampton amid scenes of jubilation here on the quayside. Survivors came down, 700 from the gangway, as well as the crew of the QE2. And then, of course, there were those long-awaited reunions. It was an occasion for saying welcome and how do you do, but also it's been an occasion of some sadness. You felt there was a sharp edge to the relief felt by those who were lucky enough to have come home. It's just 4 weeks ago that the QE2 sailed out with 3,000 troops of 5th Infantry Brigade to the war zone off the Falklands. It was a mission of great daring and some considerable achievement. Today, Southampton is paying tribute to its warrior queen. And tonight, on Coast to Coast, we'll have the full story. Meantime, it's back to James Montgomery with the rest of the news.